turned out. Yeah, she turned. Hey.
Hey, yo, what's good, you guys? You already know who it is, man. It's Boomer with Bolly Star. And today, he's getting into Clout Gang is completely dead. What happened? Now, sheesh, that's crazy, man. I mean, I was never really into all that type of, content that the Clout Gang was doing. Rice Gum, the big guy, you know what I'm saying? FaZe, the founder of FaZe, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? But I have noticed they haven't been around lately. I was just like, I mean, honestly, I found out through this video. Once this came up in my recommended, I was just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, let's find out. But yeah, man. Let's get straight on into it. Make sure you leave a like, spoil the video, subscribe if you're new, join up with the all-star gang up in this thing, and let's get straight on into it, man. Let's go.
What happened to Clout Gang? That is a question that crossed my mind the other day. FaZe Banks, Rice Gum, Alyssa Violet, Summer Rae and Wolfie Raps reigned supreme in the 2017 diss track era. And the Clout House was a hub for many famous YouTubers to visit and elevate their brand. So why is it that the most iconic members have now either disappeared or become irrelevant? Well, today you're going to find out in this video. The story begins with FaZe Banks, as he moved into a new house on the 21st of March in 2017. This beautiful mansion was located in the Hollywood Hills, and he lived there with FaZe Nikon and Nick. Now Banks already made it clear in his first video about the house that it wasn't another FaZe project at all, and that many different creators would be living and visiting there while the lease was active. This meant that he was looking for new roommates, and Rice Gum was on top of the list. Rice Gum was one of the biggest YouTubers at the time, getting millions of views per video with his vlogs, diss tracks and Must Be Stopped series. He was single-handedly one of the most important and most popular contributors to the 2000 at the time, getting millions of views per video with his vlogs, diss tracks and Must Be Stopped series. He was single-handedly one of the most important and most popular contributors to the 2017 YouTube diss track era, and he had a strong friendship with Banks. So, in April of 2017, after 19 years of living together with his parents, Rice Gum decided to move in with him, and immediately reaped the benefits of living in LA as he instantly released his third most popular diss track a day later. However, more and more he instantly released his third most popular diss track a day later. However, more and more creators and internet personalities started visiting the house, and one of them was Alyssa Violet. Before moving into the house, Alyssa appeared to be dating Jake Paul, and made content together with Team 10. But while the Jalissa relationship seemed to be real in the eyes of most of their fans, it ultimately proved to be just a dream. One day, Alyssa made a Snapchat about her getting kicked out of the Team 10 house by Jake, and explained how he treated her very poorly.
Jake's kicking me out. He didn't want to wait for me to get my apartment, which I'm getting in a couple days, so he threw all my stuff downstairs and put a lock on the door.
These altercations resulted in a whole lot of drama, and brought us the infamous It's Everyday Bro diss track by Jake Paul, and the It's Every Night Sis diss track from Rice Gum and Alyssa. Yes, talk about a throwback. This meant that she was now at the Clout House very often, and Banks and Alyssa started developing a relationship.
I knew her and stuff. I didn't really know her. And over the past week, we've kind of developed like a little weird thing. I don't know, it's weird. I don't even know if I should be talking about that on YouTube or not.
The FaZe Banks mansion started becoming a social hub for influencers, with even rappers like Lil Uzi Vert and Ugly God pulling up. And the content shot in the house was a huge success. But there were still rooms left. So who would be their next roommate? Summer Rae. Yes, one of the biggest fitness influencers on Instagram moved into the house to take her career to the next level. And this was the ultimate opportunity to start creating content on YouTube. She was absolutely killing it, as the first vlogs on her channel immediately...
Dude, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Summer Rae is not that attractive to me.
got millions of views, and Ricegum hugely profited from her moving in as well, as he featured her in his new music video and plenty of other vlogs. There were now 3 iconic personalities living in the house permanently, and the mansion now even started gaining global recognition, as even KSI flew over from the UK to record some of his diss tracks there. But
Taco Bell went a bit crazy with its breakfast. It was too much. What you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Fluffy eggs,
That was in the
sausage,
Sideman
hash
diss
browns.
era. Sideman
with huge fame comes
era.
controversy, and Team 10 was their arch nemesis. Everything was fame comes controversy, and Team 10...
Who is that girl in Team 10? That front face girl. Who is that? Yo. Oh, why her
was their arch nemesis. Everything was going well for Banks in this project, until he got accused of assaulting Jake Paul's assistant.
I didn't really know whether or not it was him at first, because he has a girlfriend and he was making out with this other girl that I knew wasn't his girlfriend. So at first I was confused, but then I realized it was definitely him.
Banks obviously defended himself against these accusations, and even threw allegations back at them together with Alyssa.
If we never agreed on something or if something happened, he would spit in my face, and this has happened multiple times.
But this whole situation didn't even put a dent in the relevancy of Banks and the rest of the house. In fact, it made them even more famous, as even the mainstream media got involved. The internet chose their side, and after even local the relevancy of Banks and the rest of the house. In fact, it made them even more famous, as even the mainstream media got involved. The internet chose their side, and after even Logan Paul visited the house, an official name was given to the group, Clout Gang. Clout Gang was mentioned by Banks for the first time on YouTube when they decided to recruit the rapper Ugly God. And even though the origin of the name was meant to be a meme according to
I remember it just being a joke.
Banks himself, their impact on internet content was quite far from a joke. Alyssa finally moved into the Clout house in September, Wolfie Rap started visiting in the same month, and Playboy Cardi even threw his birthday party in there. But this was not all, because Banks released a huge clothing drop called Loose Change, there was more Jake Paul drama, Wolfie Raps and Carrington Durham officially joined Clout Gang, and the likes of Ninja, Mr. Wolfie Raps and Carrington Durham officially joined Clout Gang, and the likes of Ninja, Mr. Beast, the Sidemen, and Jake Paul even visited the house. However, with Mr. Beast, the Sidemen,
dang, all of them,
and Jake Paul even visited the house. However, with the Clout house eventually turning into the Hype house, and the group disbanding after being on top of YouTube, all that is left to ask is, what happened? Well, a lot of things happened to the members individually. Ricegum got a content cop made on him, Banks had the whole situation with FaZe and Tfue, and both Alyssa and Banks got backlash for squashing the beef with Jake after all the drama that happened. But none of that contributed to Clout Gang ending, because it all came down to the following. First of all, Wolfie Raps got kicked out of Clout Gang. When Wolfie started visiting the house frequently, he would usually leave his girlfriend Sylvia behind, or let her stay in a separate...
That's not the same girl from earlier, right? I was like, who was that?
Separate Airbnb, while Wolfie then invited an underage girl named Jasmine over to the Clout house. Now this did not only get Wolfie kicked out of Clout Gang, but he also lost his girlfriend Sylvia. Separate Airbnb, while Wolfie then his girlfriend of Clout Gang. When Wolfie started visiting the house frequently, he would usually leave his girlfriend Sylvia behind, or let her stay in a separate Airbnb, while Wolfie then invited an underage girl named Jasmine over to the Clout house. Now this did not only get Wolfie kicked out of Clout Gang, but he also lost his girlfriend Sylvia in the process, and it made his fans turn against him. After Keemstar's video exposing him, he would post a tweet that he is dealing with the whole situation offline, and that everything would make more sense when he came back. But when he eventually posted an update video to his second channel, he didn't explain anything. Wolfie tried to move past it, but his fans wouldn't let him. He tried taking many long breaks, got back together with Sylvia, Wolfia and even experimented with music and gaming, but nothing worked. I used to be and am still a massive Wolfie fan, and watching his daily vlogs made you feel like you were a part of his life. So, as a result, most of his fans felt betrayed when he cheated as they saw Sylvia as a part of their own life. Many fans left when the drama happened, but Wolfie has since started working on himself, and even started posting quite frequently again in 2021. The hate seemed to have faded, as many of his supporters left positive comments and applauded him for changing. But it is apparent that the LA lifestyle ruined Wolfie's life, and he already disappeared again in September of 2021 after saying that he was working on himself mentally. However, Wolfie is still alive today, and he looked happier than ever on his birthday last June. The second member that left was Summer Rae, and she left because she didn't have enough space in the house. Summer already had to move to a bigger room in the house because she had so much stuff, and eventually decided that she just needed her own house. Now she went on vacation after leaving, kept posting beauty and fitness content, and often visited the Clout house to make content with Jarvis, Kay, and other FaZe members. But she eventually also moved into the new FaZe house, and appeared in content with Ricegum and Banks. However, nowadays she is an active on YouTube as she hasn't posted in 2 months, and is also quite inconsistent on her 26 million follower Instagram page. So what is she doing now? Well, she released a song that became a meme in her comments, and she is experimenting with DJing. So who knows, we might see her becoming a DJ soon, although the comments clearly don't agree with this either. Now next up is Alyssa Violet, and this is where things get more serious. Alyssa and Banks decided to break up in June of 2019, and Banks posted a statement about this a month later. They went back and forth on Twitter a lot, as Alyssa accused him of cheating on her, and Banks made a final statement to conclude the relationship on a hopefully positive note. Alyssa went sort of quiet on the internet after this, but eventually returned by making an appearance on the BFF's podcast, where she stated that she wanted to focus on her mental health. And now we're here today, because Banks and Alyssa started hanging out in a very touchy way again in June of this year, but stated that they were just friends, and she has since returned to YouTube with inconsistent uploads. Her last video was an update on her nose surgery, and she is still tweeting almost daily on her Twitter account. Ricegum actually kept creating content in the Clout house like nothing ever happened, as he started releasing more songs, got into beef with KSI, and even got a girlfriend that he made videos with. However, this is also the moment that everything went downhill. He had to leave the Clout house in March of songs, got into beef with KSI, and even got a...
She cute. But she remind me of that chick, that OnlyFans chick that killed her boyfriend. The white girl that killed the black guy. Y'all know. She looks like her. Like a twin or something.
A girlfriend that he made videos with. However, this is also the moment that everything went downhill. He had to leave the Clout house in March of 2020, as it kinda got taken over by FaZe when most of the Clout gang members left, and Ricegum was just kicking it with them. But when FaZe decided to move to another house, he decided to go his own way, and disappeared from YouTube in July. Now he did still eventually move into the new FaZe house with Banks, broke up with Abby Rao, and started streaming a lot of hours on Twitch.
Wait, what?
Decided to go his own way, and disappeared from YouTube in July. Now he did still eventually move into the new FaZe house with Banks, broke up with Abby Rao, and started... Now he did still eventually move into the new FaZe house with Banks, broke up with Abby Rao, and started streaming a lot of hours on... Move into the new FaZe house with Banks, broke up with Abby Rao.
Abby Rao?
And started streaming a still eventually moved into the new FaZe house with Banks, broke up with Abby Rao, and started streaming a lot of hours on Twitch after this, getting up to almost 21,000 viewers. But he also stopped with this in July of 2021, and is now living his best life with his new girlfriend. And finally, FaZe Banks, the original creator and reason for the disbanding of Clout Gang. Banks already stopped uploading on YouTube before he broke up with Alyssa, and moved into the new FaZe house after leaving the Clout house. This new house was going to be structured just like the Clout house, and with Aiden Ross, Mike Milak, and many others also moving in, there were talks of a Clout Gang 2.0 happening. However, this eventually never happened, and they have all recently moved out of this new FaZe house again. During his time in the FaZe mansion, Banks started getting into crypto and NFTs, and he made some massive profit along the way. He is still heavily involved in it to this day, and thanks to my good friend Drolby, we can guess that his actual net worth is around 70 to 80 million dollars. Now this was the video.
Alright you guys, so that was Clout Gang is completely dead. What happened? Nah, it looks like these guys went back to their normal lives, dog. Like, honestly, with Rice Gum, the way it showed the end of, like, you know, what happened to Rice Gum now, is like, it reminded me of, like, like, I don't know, like, I just had a thought. It's like, you know, I just imagine, like, it could be a movie or something. Like, I don't know, like, a guy, you know, like, you know, the movie starts off as a guy, you know what I'm saying, just, like, you know, living a regular life, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, either with a wife or he gets a girlfriend along the way of the movie, and it's like, you know, people just come up to him and say, hey, you're ooh. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, yeah, like, you know, you should be ooh, and, you know, the girlfriend's like, oh, really? Like, oh, you were famous back then? And he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he shows her, you know what I'm saying, what he used to do. I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of something like that. Like, Rice Gum, I don't know why I envisioned that when I saw Rice Gum with his new girlfriend. I was like, you know, it's like, you know, now I just living a regular life. But he used to get lit when he was younger. You feel me? It was like, I didn't really see that as like, I won't say washed up, because that'd be crazy. But, you know, I don't know. I just saw it as like one of those type of scenarios. But y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below, man. You already know it's Boomer with Bali Star, man. Make sure you leave a like, support the video, subscribe if you're new, join up with the All-Star gang up in this thing. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. 100. Ooh!
She turned up, she turned out. Yeah, she turned. Hey.
Know that the revolution shall be televised. Shall be televised. The revolution shall be televised. Shall be televised. The revolution shall be televised. Shall be televised. The revolution shall be televised. If you know too much, get wiped out, wiped out. If you miss your shot, then rebound, rebound.
Yeah, it goes down in the bar. Girls all flashing, now I'm down in the wall.